Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Satyadevaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Offering myself at the divine lotus feet of my most beloved Bhagavan, Sri Satya Sai Baba. So the transformation that he does within, that is his biggest miracle. And what I always feel, that the life of every Sai devotee, each and every Sai devotee is a living miracle, because we all of us have some miracles to share, experience to share. We all have some stories with our beloved Lord. Uh, and this reminds me that way back, I guess I read it in some Sai literature, way back in 1970 or 1975, when Swami's mission was growing. And one day Swami was sitting in interview room and with few devotees, and one foreign lady, she had that guts within her, and she asked Swami, now you are amidst us, you are with us. But Swami, when you will leave the body, then how can we connect with you? What will be the source of darshan then? She got that guts and she asked Swami this question. And to this, Swami said, why? When I will leave my body, you all devotees, you all will join in together. You will make a group and you will share my experiences, which I have blessed you all with. By telling those experiences, you will relieve me. You will relieve those darshan days. And I feel that telling about Swami, sharing his experiences, I feel we relieve Swami, we relieve those moments. And this is the source of darshan for us now. I feel myself blessed to be born in this family where Swami was worshipped. Swami is worshipped from day one. I have seen Swami from the day one of my life. I have seen bhajans happening at my place. It all started with my grandfather and grandmother. My grandfather, like he he was a beautiful soul. He was a very beautiful soul and a blessed soul, blessed by Swami. He was a composer. He used to compose bhajans, and like my childhood started like that only. I used to sit on my grandfather's lap and I used to hear his bhajan compositions. He used to means that rhythm, that song, that tune was he used to put in into my ears from that early age, from age one, age two. I used to hear Swami's bhajans, and like I lost my grandfather when I was in class three. I have my grandmother. She's still there with us. She's 93 years old now. And means our journey, my journey with Swami actually started with my grandfather and grandmother. They were the two pillars of my life, introducing me to Swami. And like sometimes now I hear from my grandmother, like from the very beginning, as I was so used to Sai bhajans, I was so used to seeing Swami all around. So Swami, knowingly, unknowingly, he became my friend. Swami was my everything. And like now I hear from my grandmother, like when I was hardly 3 or 4 years of age, I used to just tell my grandmother when she used to uh, just make me have my food. I used to tell my grandmother, Isharo me, bring that picture down. And there was a big Swami's picture, and I used to tell that, bring that picture down. First, touch that spoon of food into Swami's picture, and then I will have. So that was the relation I had with Swami since my childhood. Knowingly, unknowingly, it just sprouted out from my within. Like that was the relation Swami blessed me with. And now growing and coming into this age, now I'm 30, I feel my everything, my totality, my everything is Swami. My best friend, my love, my guide, my everything is Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba. So today, like as we say that we love Swami, or we say that we have experiences blessed by Swami, it's all because of Swami's wanting it to happen. Swami has blessed us with to happen. So today, in my this first appearance over here, I wish to share my one very sweet episode of my life with Swami. That was my first experience with Swami. That was my first miracle of experiencing the miracle of Swami at an early age when I was in just in class 6. So that was my first experience of a miracle. And since then, life has changed. Since then, I don't know, something has happened. When Swami just permanently pulled me into his fold. Uh, like after passing away of my grandfather, Swami was there in our altar, always there. But growing up, I used to hear Swami's literature, Swami's stories from my grandmother. And I used to make, I had a sweet corner for Swami, my own sweet corner for Swami. That was not an altar, but just like a corner for Swami. And I used to read his miracles, the stories at that age. And I remember I was in class six at that point of time. And that time we were having vacation in our school. So as usual, staying at home, getting bored, what to do, what to do. And my grandfather was a very good painter. He was a very good painter. And I remember at that point of time, when the vacation was going on, in our school, we learned how to do glass painting. And I found it very interesting, and that caught my attention. Glass painting is a very interesting thing. And like I was sitting alone with my grandmother. I remember my parents were not there at that point of time at home. And as I was getting bored, I told my grandmother, she's Amma, I call her Amma. I said, Amma, I'm getting bored. I want to draw Swami's picture. I want to do Swami's glass painting. And my grandmother was astonished. Swami's painting. Means you don't know the ABC of painting and you want to draw Swami's picture, and that too glass painting. I said, yes, I want to draw Swami's picture. And because I found it very interesting in doing that glass painting in school. So I want to do a glass painting of Swami. And still now, I love doing interesting things, new things. So new concepts. I always love doing all these things. And I remember I had a glass. I got some colors and I just sat. And since then till now, my grandmother is still my best friend. She's my best friend. Everything I share with her, she's a blessing in my life. So my grandmother was sitting just opposite to me and I sat. I remember the time was 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. And I started to draw Swami without having any knowledge of painting, nothing. I just arranged the glass and I started to draw Swami. I started to draw. I made one sketch first. And then after making the sketch, Swami's sketch was ready. Swami's hair, Swami's robe, Swami's face. And I remember that I gave a blue color in the background of the picture. Now everything was ready. The blue color was there. Swami's robe was red, ready. Hair is ready, black. Now the main problem I faced with was drawing Swami's eyes. That was becoming very difficult, very, very difficult. I couldn't draw Swami's eyes. And first I drew, then no, it's not looking like Swami, not at all. Again, I'm putting the colors near the face area. This was done, hair was done, robe is done. And I just put one hand like Swami doing, we have one pose of Swami like this. Hand was also okay, more or less okay, but the face was not coming. I remember I started drawing at 8 o'clock. It was 12 o'clock at the night and it was 12 a.m. And my grandmother told me, leave it, go and have your food. I said, no, I won't leave. I will finish Swami's picture. Means when I've started one task, I want to finish it. Means from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock, I was failure to draw the eyes of Swami. Each time I was wiping it with the colors. And again, I was drawing the eyes. And at 12 o'clock, the picture that came in front of me was more like a clown. It was more like a clown. It was not at all Swami. It was not at all Swami. I want to show you that picture. This is a treasure which I have kept with me. So from 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock, this is what happened. This is what happened. I want to show you. This is what happened. The blue color is done. The robe is done. And here the eyes was not coming at all. I was putting colors constantly, not happening, not happy with it. Again, I am putting the colors. And then finally at 12 o'clock, this picture came in front of me. And I was totally depressed. My grandmother was telling me, Guddu, my nickname is Guddu. Guddu, leave it. Swami is happy with your dedication. I was saying no, means at that point of time, it was like, Swami is my best friend. Why, Swami, you are not allowing me to draw you? It was like a war going on now between Swami. Swami, why you are not making it happen? Why you are not helping me? I want to draw you. You are making me sad. And I was telling all these things. Then I was holding this picture. I was this side. And my grandmother was sitting the opposite side, and she is still now very, very patient with me. Can you imagine? 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock. She also didn't have a food, and she was just sitting opposite to me. And I was holding this picture. And finally at 12 o'clock, I was frustrated. I said, I won't draw you, Swami. I won't draw you, Swami. It's not at all coming. I'm fed up. I told these words in Bengali. My grandmother was sitting that side, and this side of the glass was facing me. And my grandmother was sitting that side. I suddenly saw my grandmother was surprised, and her eyes were big, and she was just looking like this, blank. I said, what happened? She said, Guddu, you just turn the picture. I said, okay. So my grandmother actually was seeing this side of the picture. I was seeing this side. So I just turned the picture. And when I turned the picture, it was exactly Swami. It was exactly Swami. And the peculiar thing is, this surface is rough because I drew on over this surface. This surface is rough. And this is within the glass. This is smooth. And I was like, I was just looking this way. What is the logic behind this? How can this happen? And I was saying, what happened? How this happened? I didn't know. I didn't get any logic. And it was too late. And I knew that my grandmother could feel it, actually what happened. She was very happy and she was like spellbound. She's seeing it in front of her eyes. Like I'm getting goosebumps now. I'm reliving that moment. And that night, I didn't understand anything. I just, there was a nail. It was earlier, it was framed. There was a nail and I just hanged this picture on that nail and I went to sleep. Entire night, I was just unable to join the points at how it happened. Next morning, this was not the end. Why this is more precious to me. Next morning, I got up and as I was just in class 6, I was like, I got up. The first thing was, I drew Swami's picture. I went to that place where I just hanged that Swami's picture and the curtain was pulled. The curtain was, my grandmother at night, she just put the curtains. And at morning I got up and I went and I removed the curtains. I removed the curtains and Swami's picture was there. You won't believe. From Swami's picture here, Amrita was dripping down, honey. honey was dripping down the picture, and it was like again a shock for me. What is this happening? Means all this time, what I have read about miracles, about manifestations, it was for the first time I'm witnessing it with my own eyes. And the Amrita was so much in quantity, so much in quantity. The blue background which I have given here, that blue color also got faded. It was pouring. And now also the marks are there. If you all can see, I over here, the Amrita marks are still there. Over here, if you all can see, this side, like the blue color I said, it just became like bubbles, just got wiped off. And that moment of life, when I was seeing this in front of me, I was speechless. And from that moment, I think something happened. All this while, Swami was there with me, always like a friend. He was more like a friend. But when this happened, my first miracle experience of a miracle of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba, I really found that some energies are getting exchanged within this picture and myself. And since then, life changed. And he pulled me permanently in his fold. And then the series of new life, it was like a new life for me, new experiences each day, living Swami each moment of my life. So when this proposal came to me to share some of my experiences, I felt that I should remember my grandmother and grandfather first, because from them, they are my roots. From them, I got to know Swami. And from here, my journey started with Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. So I felt like sharing this episode, very important episode of my life, the beginning of my journey with Swami over here with you all today in this beautiful satsang session. May Swami bless you all. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram.